Do you feel like you're spinning your wheels and going nowhere? Then you're going to need a pen and paper, because this episode is a mini masterclass on the first 4 things you need to get clear on before you start a career change. This episode is going to give you the tools to be able to put everything into perspective and give you the clarity you need to figure out the next step to making a change to your career. You are not alone. We are stepping through this together, so let's go. You're listening to the Career Change Podcast with career coach, mum, and ex-corporate girl, Gina Hubbard. This is a no BS discussion about everything to do with your career, including how to make those hours at work happier, easier, and more fulfilling, so that you can get on with living the life that you want. So, let's get going. Hey there, friend. Today, I want to share with you a process that I take my clients through when they join my coaching program, the Career Change Project. This process, which I call the Career Change Model, helps you get clarity on where you are right now so that you can make informed decisions about how to take the next step. It has even helped clients who aren't sure what they want to do get some direction and clarity for what their next career or job change could look like. So it's super helpful, and I wanted to share it with you so that you can benefit from this super handy tool. Now, these 4 areas are not new. You're going to know them. And I created this tool when I was working out how I was going to change my career. I just put them together and they kind of made sense. I was working full-time. My kids were middle school age, and I had so many ideas and dreams about what I wanted to do. But I also had a lot of questions and a lot of doubts, and all of that was running around in my head, creating a lot of confusion and anxiety. So much so that I was unfocused, kind of zoned out a lot of the time, and not taking any action. I was getting nowhere. It felt like I was running around in circles. So I created this simple tool to help me sort out my head, to put all the things I was thinking about in their proper place so that I could examine them and make decisions. And it worked. The Career Change Model is 4 areas of your life that you need to be really clear about so that you can start taking action. Knowledge is power, and I have the questions for you today to help you work through and define these areas. But before you answer the following questions, I just want to make sure that you get yourself into a space where you can take the time to think. Make a commitment to not buy into your brain dismissing any idea because of the recession, because of your financial situation, because of the lack of childcare, the lack of qualifications, or the lack of time, anything like that. I want you to do this exercise free of the normal restrictions that your brain is pre-programmed to give you to keep you from making the wrong decision. It's actually pre-programmed to stop you from making any decision, to be honest. This exercise is about exploration and awareness. If you feel yourself getting anxious and overwhelmed with negative thoughts, just gently remind yourself that this is dream time, right? Time to imagine and play. Okay, are you ready? Here is your first question. What are your skills and strengths? Now, just like gratitude journaling, listing your strengths and skills focuses your brain on what is going well and things that you can be really proud of. And that is an instant mood lifter. People who don't see what they are good at generally aren't good at following their dreams because they lack motivation and self-confidence. I want you to list all of your strengths, the things that you are good at. Start with software or programs, processes and skills that you've learnt, but also include your personality, like being patient or being good under pressure. Be honest with yourself. This isn't the time to start a wish list of strengths that you wish you had. Stick with what you've got right now. What do people at work compliment you on? What work comes naturally to you? What do you enjoy doing and you love it so much that the time gets away on you? If you get stuck, ask co-workers, friends or family members what they think your strengths are. You might just be surprised what they come up with. Watch out for hidden talents and transferable skills. What have you learnt from having kids that is valuable when transferred into the workplace? I want you to focus on the skills that you enjoy doing. What I don't want you to do is list the things that you are good at, but that you hate doing. Please don't do that to yourself. Please don't do that to yourself. Now is the time to look at what is possible for you. It's time to dream, and it doesn't need to include you imagining doing things that you don't want to do, because that is the fastest way to shut down your imagination and creativity. We're not ignoring them. They just don't have a role to play in this stage of the process, okay? Another area I want you to explore are the things that you do that you love doing, that you don't believe you are good at. Things that you don't believe are a strength because you suck at doing them, but you have a completely fantastically great time when you're doing that task or that thing. And remember, we only suck at something until we get better at it. We're all beginners at something. So list your strengths, your skills, your expertise, your capabilities, and personality strengths. Okay, the second area is, what are your work values? Work values are the guiding principles that make up who you are at work, and the more of these you have ticked off, the more fulfilled and happy you will be. Now, we all have them. Our values guide us through life. They are the foundation from which we make decisions. So it's really important to know and understand what your work values are. Do you prefer to work in a team environment, or do you prefer being sole charge? Is it important to you that the company you work for have a positive environmental impact in the world? Have a think about it and write it down. It's really important. The thing about work values is that they can easily be ignored or compromised. But when we do this, parts of our job just start to rub at us, right? It starts to feel uncomfortable. Now, I used to work for an amazing company years ago, and the pay was excellent. The people were amazing. The job was interesting and challenging and varied. I got regular training. The social events were regular and a whole lot of fun. There really wasn't much about the job that I didn't like, except this one thing, this one values clash. And it sounds like a silly one, but it's one that is important to me, and it made it an unbearable workplace, even with all the other values being met. So the values clash that I had with this company was that they slaughtered calves, baby cows. Now, I'm a meat eater. I was raised on a farm. I understand the circle of life, but going to work every day to a place that slaughtered calves for monetary gain just did not sit right with me. And the area of work that I did was closely connected to these slaughtered calves. I got numbers, details of what was being processed every day, what was purchased, what was slaughtered, etc. Now, I'm not squeamish. I would visit the factory regularly to see the disassembly process of fully grown cows and be completely okay with it. It was just the calves, the baby cows, that I couldn't reconcile myself with. It was the babies. So even now, I really do struggle to explain exactly why, but I trust my intuition, and that environment was a hard no for me, so I left. So your work values are exactly that, right? They're yours. They do not need explaining to anyone. As long as they make sense to you, that's all that matters. They are what they are, and they are important. So explore your work values and list all that are important to you. And I have a guide that includes a list of work values to help you get started with this, and you'll find it in the show notes for this episode. Okay, the next area that you need to be really clear about is your non-negotiables. And this is the one that is often overlooked and often confused with work values. But they are different. We have to keep them separate. So these are the things in your life that cannot change. They cannot be negotiated. Trying to change your career without having your non-negotiables defined is only going to lead to tears and heartbreak, friend. Imagine getting into what you think is your dream career only to find that you have a non-negotiable, something that is vital to you in your existence, that isn't being met. So everyone has different non-negotiables, but 99% of my clients have a salary or a money non-negotiable. And that is the minimum amount of money that you need in order for you to meet the basic needs for you and your family. That amount, and it might not be the minimum amount just to get by, but that amount is a non-negotiable. If any new job doesn't meet that, then you walk away. It's as simple as that. And that is the criteria for a non-negotiable. Think about what you need to get clear. Think about what you need to get from a career that your family unit needs and write them down. Don't forget your own non-negotiables, please. You don't want to create a career around just the needs of other people. That is the fastest way to start resenting your new job and sabotaging your happiness. So some examples of non-negotiables are money, which I've mentioned earlier. Put your minimum baseline in there, but don't panic. It's not what you're going to be asking for or settling for. Remember, at this stage, we are information gathering and you are getting to know yourself and get clear on what you need. So don't panic. And you would be surprised at how many people don't know this number too. Another one is location. Do you need to be a certain distance from the kids' school or daycare? Do you have a hard and fast rule about never driving on the motorway? It's important to be honest about what your non-negotiables are. It's your life and you have to be happy living it, and it starts by getting what you need. Not what you want, but what you need. Here is the danger of not knowing what your non-negotiables are. You won't last very long in any job that doesn't meet your needs. You'll be forced to change jobs again, and you'll be doing it from a place of frustration because you haven't been getting your needs met. You'll be looking for your next job from a place of desperation, and when you do that, you'll be more likely to ignore your strengths and your work values just to get into a job that meets your non-negotiables. Non-negotiables, think of them like blinking red lights, like they are the check engine light in your car. They demand attention first. They're like the screaming toddler, okay? They're demanding attention. So give them the attention they deserve. Get them down on paper and don't judge them. Sometimes we have non-negotiables that we don't want, and it's easy to feel a little bit down about them. Money can be one of these, especially if we have to make a certain amount to pay a loan that we didn't want to take out. And there is a part of us that resents paying it back. So be gentle with yourself, friends, please. Don't judge. You're doing a great job, and if that is you, remember that loan won't be around forever. It's better to be clear and honest about it so that you can make the money you need to be able to pay it back without having to compromise another area of your life that is important to you. And that's what this exercise does. This exercise gives you clarity on what is really important to you and your life, which is going to help you narrow down your career options, I promise. So write them down, warts and all. List all your non-negotiables so you know where you stand. Okay, the last question I want you to think about is why? And this is the last area. Why? Why do you want to change your career or your job? List all the reasons why you want something new. Don't hold back. Get every little thing down on paper. This seems like a silly question, but it really is important. Let me explain why. Changing careers, hell, just even actually changing your job is a big step. Some clients find it easy, some find it hard, some clients change within weeks, for some it takes months. Sometimes even years if they have to fully retrain. And that's okay, it is what it is. Knowing your why is the fuel to keep you going. It will keep you going when your motivation is low and the going gets tough. And it will. There will be moments when you sit back and ask yourself what the hell you were thinking taking this on. That's okay. It's fine. It happens to all of us. It's part of the process. But knowing the deep reason, your why, is important, and probably actually the most important step in this process, because it's your fuel to keep going. The only way you can fail is if you quit. And your why will help you to stay on track and to help stop you from quitting. So write down your list of reasons for why you want to change your job. Remember, don't judge them. They're your own. They're nobody else's. You don't have to explain them. But once you've done that, I want you then to ask why again for each thing on your list. I want you to go deeper. Here's an example of what I mean. You want to change your career so that you earn more money. That's great. I love that. But why do you want to earn more money? What is it going to give you? How is that going to change your life? Go deep. Ask why at least another 4 times. Once you're done, I want you to look back at your answers and check in with how you feel after reading them. Do you feel motivated? Do you light up like you have a fire in your belly? Do you feel determined? If not, keep asking why until you find the motivating reasons. Now, it's okay, and in fact, it's better if you have more than one why, more than one reason why you want to change your career or job. Give yourself the time and space to explore this area. You'll thank yourself down the line, I promise, and it's an area that deserves a little bit of time spent on it. It really does. Changing careers is a journey of self-exploration. At the end, you will know yourself a lot better than you did before you started, I promise. You'll be clearer on who you are, what you want, and that will change how you show up in the world. You'll just walk around feeling a little bit taller. Okay, so those are the first 4 things to get really clear on before you start a career change, whether you know what you want to do or not. Having these 4 areas clarified is going to help you make the right decision for your life. Use these answers to guide your decision making. If a career or job doesn't fit your non-negotiables at least, then it's not the right job for you. Make sure your values are being met and that you're changing careers for the right reasons. The career change model helps with that. So in summary, here they are again real quick. List all of your strengths, capabilities, skills, and experience. And I really want you to toot your own horn here and get laser focused on what you're not only good at, but what you love doing. Define your work values. And remember, there is a link in the show notes for this episode that will take you to a handy list to get you started. Define your non-negotiables, the things that a job has to give you, and if it doesn't, it's a deal breaker. And lastly, clarify your why. List all the motivating reasons why you want to change your career. They are going to be useful when it gets tough and you need some motivation to keep going. Listen up, friends. Come in closer. If you're multitasking, now's the time to listen. Nothing compares to the feeling of pride and accomplishment after making changes and finally having the career and life that you want. Of having your own back, believing in yourself enough to do what is required to change your life for the better. And it's not until you get out of the job you're in now that you'll realize just how much your current job is negatively affecting your whole life, because it is, I promise you. You'll be able to see how it's keeping you quiet and small. If you're serious about having a career or job that better suits your needs and wants, that fits your strengths and what you love doing, then doing this work right here is where you start. And remember, I believe in you. You've already got what it takes to have an amazing career and an even better life. Because being in the right career, it is life-changing. So, let's get to work. Hey there, are you ready to know exactly why you can't make any progress in your career? If you've been working hard and are feeling burnt out and trapped, but you're not sure why, or you don't even know where to start to make positive change, then I've got you covered. Imagine what it would be like if you could earn the salary that you want, feel energized by what you do, and be free of self-doubt. And I'm here to tell you that you can. Your lack of confidence might be holding you back, and you might not even know it, so let's fix that. Click the link in the show notes to get my free masterclass on the 3 ways your lack of confidence sabotages your career and how to turn it around and get the salary you deserve. Inside, you'll learn the 3 key ways you might be sabotaging your own career, how these show up for even the most accomplished and self-aware woman just like you and me, and how to get your mojo back, reclaim the power in your career, and start finally earning the salary that you deserve. Born out of the blood, sweat and tears of going through this myself and the hundreds of hours of coaching women just like you to their own career success, the 3 ways I'm teaching in this training are little known and hardly talked about. So head over to the show notes now and click the link to get the free and instant access to this masterclass.